Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, meine Damen und Herren, señoras y señoras, welcome back. It is game number 2 between GoOdy and TLO here for this community-sponsored show match. We are on Zelnaga Fortress. TLO is spawning over here at the 10, 12, 11 o'clock location as the Blue Terran, and next to him here at the 6, 7 o'clock location, it is GoOdy from EST, of course, TLO being a member from Team Liquid. GoOdy was able to take the first game, and even though TLO expanded faster all the time, GoOdy was able just to keep up and even be in the lead in terms of how many SCVs were produced. And because of this, GoOdy was not falling behind in terms of economy, and he was able to produce more stuff. GoOdy had an attack early on in the game, was not too successful. Then the counter attack by TLO was looking really promising in favor of TLO, but then GoOdy was able to rake the contain TLO started, and TLO was not reinforcing his siege tanks at the front fast enough, and because of this, a really nice damage to the mineral line on the second expansion of TLO by GoOdy was just putting GoOdy in a slightly better position, so he was able to produce more stuff, and with basically more stuff, SCVI 5, with more stuff, GoOdy was able to take game number 1. Now, let's take a look at the production tab. We can see everything is the same right now. So let me tell you how you people can win a $130 5.1 headset by Rocket. It is called the Rocket Cave with a K. And how to win it? It's very simple. Check out my website. It is andre.com. On this website, somewhere on the website, I've hidden a small 16x16 pixel logo of Rocket. Now search the website, find the Rocket logo, and tweet me the answer where you actually found the Rocket logo at Special Andre, and then cross your fingers, and this is all you need to do. Now TLO scouted the base of GoOdy. He spotted everything he needed to scout, the barracks and the gas. That's why he was pulling back with his SCV, now building this factory over here. And on the other hand, what did GoOdy scout? GoOdy scouted, oh yeah, there's the barracks coming up, and here is the refinery. So both guys scouting absolutely the same, and currently still going for the same build order. Factory timing basically the same for both guys, but their TLO once again is already using his barracks to move out. And what does this mean? This does mean that TLO does not have too many Marines at the front, and he might be forced to use some of his SCVs because GoOdy is already moving out. Got an SCV. Is he going to build a bunker, or is he going to use this SCV as a buffer? So buffer SCV it is, and there GoOdy is moving in, already killing the SCV, constructing the command center. Now TLO is forced to use more of those units. Of course, TLO was able to take out the bunker, which has been built, has been started to build by GoOdy, but it got taken out. Now this Hellion here is going to roast and toast away the remaining Marines, but GoOdy takes out a second SCV, constructing the command center over here, so he bought himself some time, not allowing TLO to get this command center up as fast as possible. Now there we can see the starport coming up for TLO, but a second starport coming up for GoOdy. Now, did TLO spot the second starport? No, he has no idea. He just saw one starport, and now he sees the command center. TLO might be thinking, okay, I'm just completely fine in that regard, no problem. But with this second starport out, TLO might be in some trouble. And is he going to scout it? No, he's sending his barracks away a little bit more to the top, and now GoOdy of course playing some mind games, because double starport is not what you usually see by GoOdy, and GoOdy really wants to win this because there was some, but no, hold that thought, because here's TLO moving in once again, using his factory to scout on the high ground. Now there are the Marines still attacking the barracks a little bit longer. Of course, GoOdy needs to watch out not to fall victim to those Hellions. The Hellions do a total damage of 42, which is of course not enough to one-shot a Marine, but they are able to do some severe damage. Looks like TLO might be moving up the ramp to kill some of the SCVs. No, he's not just doing this. The SCVs are both still survive. And TLO here with a very, very good micro, of course, at the same time. Got out of one Viking already. He's going to build more Hellions in the Blue Flame. So going for it Slayer style. Now his orbital is now landing at his natural, so he's able to already call down some mules, transfer some SCVs, continue with the SCV production. I mean, GoOdy's command center is landing as well, but this thing still needs another 35 seconds for the orbital to finish. So in terms of economy, TLO should be ahead, and indeed he is 30 SCVs compared to the 28. Now there is a second Viking in production, but before the second Viking he finished with a Medivac, of course, with him going for the Blue Flame. Now GoOdy here with a landed Viking taking out an SCV, doing a good job in that regard. Now lifting up his Viking, and because of the fact that he's got a second reinforcing Viking in, TLO is going to lose his as well. Now there is the Medivac here with the Hellions, and the Blue Flame upgrade is about to finish, so pretty soon TLO will go for a Hellion drop. There he's going for a scan. Did he spot this second starport over here in the back? No, he did not, so that's why GoOdy, he was actually going Banshee Viking, TVT-ing it up in terms of air battles. Should be having a good amount of units, but now here with the Blue Flames, and GoOdy is pulling his SCVs away, and this Blue Flame attack could do so much damage, and that TLO is moving in with some Blue Flames at the front as well, and taking out so many SCVs. Already took out 15, but he's even going to take out many more. In there we see more SCVs going down, of course, with a new patch. This is going to be a thing of the past, but we are still not just there yet. It's still 1.3, not 1.4, so we can see TLO killed a total of 23 SCVs, and not even 10 minutes into the game. This is of course quite a huge thing, so TLO in a very good position, having double the amount of harvesters right now. And GoOdy here with his Vikings and this one single Banshee needs to make something happen right now, or he will be in a lot of trouble. There are two Vikings of TLO already waiting. There is GoOdy moving in with his three remaining Vikings. TLO got a second Viking out. Of course he's trying to lure the forces here back to the missile turret, but the missile turret was not doing too much damage, only got off 3 shots, and GoOdy was able to take out the 2 remaining Vikings. Now there are 2 Banshees and 2 Vikings trying to do some damage. TLO only having this one single starport, no barracks to produce Marines from, and not even a reactor on the starport. So GoOdy with his 2 Banshees will actually able to do quite a lot of damage. But one thing, and this is muy importante, those 2 factories, they are both producing a Thor right now. The Banshees of GoOdy do not have cloak, they are light armored units, so TLO basically needs to buy himself some time, needs to buy himself enough time. Oh, mass landed Vikings against a 1 landed Viking. The repair is not enough, and now those landed Vikings can't even move in the mineral line because there's not much anti-ground, but those Thors will move out of the factory in about 3 seconds, but the Vikings of GoOdy still can do quite a lot of damage, and now TLO is going to take out this one single Banshee. The other Banshee is under attack. TLO meanwhile, who is not able to fully repair his orbital at the natural, and this counter-attack with just 2 Banshees and 3 Vikings by GoOdy was so super effective. I cannot believe he lost this command center, and apparently so did he. And one more thing to everybody who is joining in the chat right now, please keep the language in the chat to English. It's a little bit unpolite towards our non-German speaking friends. So there's also a German cast available, by the way. Check out the cast of Mort, who is doing this for StarCraft, and the community in general. So if you want to talk in German, make sure to join the German stream. But here it's all international, and use the English language, please. So now TLO, he's got his 2 Thors, he's got a Viking and 2 Hellions. The army supply is 24 for TLO, 38 for GoOdy. And with GoOdy taking, I still can't believe that TLO lost this orbital over here at the natural. I mean, there were 2 Banshees doing some damage, but apparently TLO was too much busy focusing on the rest. Now here are the Marines. The Marines do not have enough range to attack the Thors, which is quite important, and the Thors can do shit tons of damage. Look at how fast this one single bunker is going down. 3 Marines are dead already. Now the Thors can still outrange the bunker. They can outrange the Vikings, the Banshees. And those Thors can do shit tons of damage. And let's see where this is going. GoOdy's got a first siege tanks here. Now there is a single Banshee. The Banshee got taken out. Second Banshee will get taken out as well. TLO is desperately trying to do some more damage, but now even with the cloak coming out, TLO lost his 2 Thors. Now he did have some blue flamers here in the back trying to do some damage. He killed a couple of more Hellions, SCVs, so we can see the total SCV count killed 32 against 23 is still in favor of TLO. There his command center is finished as well, going for the orbital right away, getting another missile turret because he knows, oh yeah, GoOdy still got those 2 Banshees, but they're apparently out of energy. And TLO, is he spotting this Banshee? No, so the Viking will not have just a free kill by taking out this Banshee. Let's take a look at the total harvest accounts for the moment. 43 versus 40 right now, is slightly in favor of GoOdy. The total supply is 75 for GoOdy and 59 for TLO, so GoOdy here in the lead because his army is slightly bigger. Still, the 2 Thors did do so much damage. Of course, the siege tanks here, the one single siege tank here on the high ground was doing quite a lot of damage actually. And without the siege tank, TLO could have done much more damage. Now, there's a new Thor popping out, and this missile turret is providing enough detection, so with the 2 Vikings and the Thor for TLO are able to take out this other Banshee over here. And of course, losing a Banshee without doing any damage at all is never what you want to have. Still, GoOdy is looking good in terms of supply, 71 versus 88. So having a 16 supply lead is of course a good thing to do. Of course, both players early on harassed each other quite good, killed a lot of stuff, and that's why we still are below the 100 supply count, even though we are already 17 minutes into the game. 2 base versus 2 base. There GoOdy is building his second command center. TLO with a scan just was scouting it right away, so he knows about it. Does he know about those units in the middle? I think pretty soon this single floating barracks will. Oh no, he just stopped. There's maybe nothing to see over here. Maybe he will use it later on as well. Scouting supply depot being built by GoOdy at the left side. Another supply depot is queued up, so he will be able to know if TLO is moving over here with some units or even tries to expand over here at the 9 o'clock location. TLO already built 2 refineries, so he should be floating over there with the other. Now I'm a little bit confused. TLO built 2 refineries here, he's landing with the orbital over there. I mean, one thing is absolutely good about those refineries. He was able to taunt and lure the Banshee over here. Then he just moved in with his 2 Vikings and the scan, so he was able to take out another Banshee of GoOdy without the Banshee being able to do anything. So investing those 75 minutes for the refinery absolutely paid off for TLO in the long run. Oh, we have some blue flames coming up by GoOdy, and there's nothing to protect the SCVs. All those SCVs still running away. GoOdy now pulling back because TLO moving in just in time, and now TLO is also having quite a lot of Vikings and Banshees. How many Marines do we have? 3 Marines and just 2 Vikings. So this is by far not enough. GoOdy is forced to retreat, and this allows TLO to take out 1 siege tank after another. There's some blue flames moving in by TLO. Blue flame against blue flame action by GoOdy, of course. And here with TLO moving in with some siege tanks, and Thor is taking out those forces no problem at all. And suddenly the supply lead for GoOdy is gone. It's 121 compared to 119 for GoOdy. Oh yeah, he is making it up, still having shit tons of siege tanks and Hellions and missile turrets and everything at his natural expansion. So TLO, what can he do? Maybe check for this expansion. Does he know about this expansion? Yes, he does now, and that's why he's moving in over here. Meanwhile, blue flame Hellion was taken over here, but got taken out. there is the Banshee by Goody, who's not paying attention. Where is the Banshee actually? And the Banshee is in the main base of TLO. Could have attacked here the refinery, maybe over here some SCVs, but instead he focused on the remaining units at the same time. TLO moving in with lots and lots of Vikings, lots and lots of Banshees, and there's only one single missile turret over here, and this missile turret is not in range to take out TLO's Banshees. Now with the +1 range, the missile turret would have actually been able to attack those, but he was not. Now Goody is moving in with 5 Vikings and the Thor, but there were the Vikings of TLO still. Goody was able to take out one single of those Banshees, so only one Banshee and the remaining Vikings left over here. But TLO absolutely did do quite a lot of damage with harassing over here, took out a lot of siege tanks, and now TLO is the one in the supply lead, having 127 supply over 116. And now TLO is even going to double expand, and this is quite, of course, a very good thing to go for. Now TLO here is building command center number 1, there's command center number 2. Goody continues with the SCV production, continues with the siege tank production, and now let's take a look at the total harvest. This is 66 for TLO, 52 for Goody, and the army supply 64 against 70, so Goody is still the one with a slightly bigger army, but TLO is already sieged up, and the Vikings are in a really good position. And now with the siege tanks, with the Thors attacking the Vikings instead of the siege tanks, TLO was able to do even more damage. And this is a very good situation for TLO, because he just doesn't need to attack Goody right now. He needs to secure the Zelnaga watchtower, he needs to control the middle, and then he can easily make use of command center number 4 and number 5. Having one over here, maybe one over there. Of course, this is the European version of Zelnaga Fortress. I don't know really why it is, but on the Korean servers, the Zelnaga Fortress map, this tower disappears after 7 minutes, because it was giving the Terran who was holding the Zelnaga watchtower actually too big of an advantage. So that's why GoMTV decided, okay, let's self-destruct the Zelnaga watchtower after 7 minutes. Now, on the European servers, this is not going to happen. For example, I'm casting the 4 Players Close Combat Cup every Thursday, and there, this map is in the map pool as well. That's why I can see a lot of TVTs centering around holding this crucial Zelnaga watchtower in the middle. Looks like Goody is now able to control the Zelnaga watchtower. Of course, if you have the watchtower, you are able to you are not relying so much on Vikings. You can just focus on the ground units a little bit more, and you don't have to scan all the time. So this is, of course, muy importante, very important. Now, the TLO is relocating his orbitals, but now he's sending one orbital over here to the 12 o'clock, rebuilding those really important refineries. There, Goody, of course, now having recuperated from his SCV losses. And when we take a look, at the total harvest account, Goody is actually the one in the lead here once again, but of course keep in mind that TLO got 2 more of those orbitals already, so he will be able to go for more mules, he will be able to go for more SCVs if he wants to produce this, but he actually doesn't need to produce any more SCVs, just because of the fact that he's got more than enough SCVs to go for an okay gas income, to max out his gas income, to go for the maximum possible gas income. There we go. And the rest of the mineral income he needs, it can be done by mules, because if you can down 5 mules every 80 seconds, oh yeah, that's a ton of money. So single Thor is attacking this orbital. Now he's moving in, and Goody's a Thor. He's now a Corporal Thor, taking out one SCV, one mule after another. TLO, of course, moving in with some units. And is he going fall victim to this trap of Goody once again? Because the last time he was dealing with some sort of distraction. Oh yeah, Goody decided to move in and kill TLO basically. But when TLO was moving out, he was scanning Goody, so he was checking, am I going to get attacked by Goody right now or not? Of course, Goody, he is the master of mind games, and he's the German special tactics guy basically. Was moving in here at the bottom, top right location, but TLO absolutely scouted it, put his tanks and the Thors in position, so no problem for Goody to intercept this possible flank attack here by TLO. Now GoOdy moving in with some blue flamers, trying to kill some stuff, but is not able to kill too much stuff. Still remember, those Thors and siege tanks are over here in the middle. Now TLO is moving over there with even more units. So the Thors are attacking the Vikings, are attacking the siege tanks, but now TLO with his landed Vikings and the Thors and the siege tanks in the back is able to take out all the units of GoOdy. GoOdy is pulling back, so he's not going for, okay, it's time for desperation counter-attack operation. It's not what's going to happen right now. GoOdy pulling back his units, TLO scanning GoOdy so he knows, I need to check what GoOdy is up to next. There's some scouting SCVs moving in, TLO with the sieged up tanks. Now GoOdy spotting those units, so he knows what's up in that regard. Now TLO is moving in with some more Banshees, and he's got a total of 4 Banshees. How many Thors? Still 3 Thors for GoOdy is quite enough. GoOdy deciding to move in here. Still there are a lot of siege tanks for TLO. TLO still have 2 siege tanks left, but the Thors, they don't take that much damage because they have quite a huge HP pool. Now TLO moving back here with his forces, but he's getting intercepted by the reinforcements of GoOdy, and now GoOdy is moving in, but it was looking so good for TLO all the time. The army supply is still quite pretty even. We have 100 versus 94, slightly in favor of GoOdy. Now TLO moving in with some reinforcements of his own, actually killing all those remaining units of GoOdy in the center of the map. So still a very, very close game. We are 30 minutes into the game. The supplies are 93 versus 99, now once again in favor of TLO. And let's take a look at how many SCVs were actually killed during the game. TLO was able to kill 53, GoOdy was able to kill 62. Now GoOdy, of course, having the control of the Xel'Naga watchtower here in the middle, is able to attack one siege tank after another when they want to move in. He doesn't really rely on the Vikings providing the vision, but one thing he needs to watch out for that is he's reinforcing the center a little bit more, because TLO has got quite a menacing amount of siege tanks. 11 siege tanks, so a couple of Vikings is all he needs to do to take out just those few. But the Thor, of course, is going to help out here. A hidden siege tanks underneath the Vikings, there we go, is of course there as well. Now GoOdy is moving in with some Hellions, checking what's going on at the 3 o'clock, not so much. Missile turret and some Vikings repelling TLO's barracks over there. And what is TLO building? More Thors. So, and of course I really like those Collector's Edition Thors with the wings. I was thinking about getting the Collector's Edition myself, but then I decided I'm not sure if it's worth the extra money, because yeah, face it, the Collector's Edition is a little bit more expensive. Anyhow, of course, if you're a fan, if you want those wings, go for it, no problem at all. And when we take a look at the economy, and by economy I mean harvest account, 4952, but also the amount of orbitals, and there TLO is having 6 orbitals, so he can mule quite a lot. We can see that TLO is just producing slightly more stuff. He is slightly in the lead in terms of harvesters. The siege tanks here taking out the missile turret, small victory for him. Looks like TLO wants to move over here to the top right location to get another base up. GoOdy heavily mining over here at the center 3 o'clock, so it's still all about the Xel'Naga watchtower. This is such a crucial building to occupy, because this is the only way through the center via ground. The rest you can do is all by drops, but we didn't see that many drops. But one thing we see, that TLO is going for a flank attack now. GoOdy reinforcing, just repositioning some of his siege tanks, and looks like TLO moving in with a Mist Rally Thor. The Thor not doing anything at all. It goes down, and not the best control by TLO. Now we have a 4 Banshees taking out a Thor, no problem at all. But GoOdy moving in with more Vikings, taking this out and losing the Thor. Oh, this was so completely unnecessary. By the way, let's check the upgrades. We have a +2 mech attack here for TLO. zero armor on the units. Meanwhile, GoOdy is having zero upgrades at all 35 minutes into a game. I mean, he's mining on 1-2 bases still. He's mining a little bit of gas at his natural, so he could easily at least go for the +1 with 100 minerals and 100 gas as a cost. It's not that much for a super crucial upgrade, especially considering that he's only basically, besides from the Vikings and some SCVs, building units that come out of a factory. Now, Singles SCVs got sent in here by TLO. I'm not sure if it was on purpose or TLO going for some mule bombing, if it was on purpose or if he just wants to free up supply, but because TLO is not just yet maxed out, and both guys are actually getting a little bit more supply, 177 for TLO and 173, now a little bit less actually because of the Banshees doing so much damage here for GoOdy, and TLO with his 4 Banshee squad is doing a very, very good job at taking out more and more of those siege tanks. Now we have a Viking on Viking battle. Single Viking got taken out. The Vikings for TLO got the +2 attack. Meanwhile, 0 upgrades on the Vikings as well. So TLO, I think he might be able to take this just because of the fact that he's got the superior upgrades. Now the Vikings are landing there. Some Banshees here at the left side doing some damage. Keeping the Thors busy because the Thors most of the time try to focus on the air units. Now the landed Vikings with the Thors and the siege tanks in the back is enough for TLO to take game number 2. GoOdy GG's, and we are going into game number 3, and with quite a close match. I mean, it was back and forth all the time. Of course, TLO getting a huge lead early on with his Blue Flames, but then the big mistake by TLO not paying attention to his orbital at the natural expansion. But he was able to go for a comeback, took game number 2, and game number 3 will be played on the most beautiful map of all time in terms of StarCraft 2, Bolshevik.